what time it is? We don't turn down, we turn up. Bird card. Count it. 1, 2, 3. Let go.
Turn up, 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 turn up.
But I've heard the story.
Wait till you see what I'm about to say too. Ooh.
Boom. All right. So we're ready to go. Look, that's big conversation. This is what we do. You call this a big conversation. We wait for it to go down. So, all right. We want to welcome you back to another episode of LLF, Local Louisville Fighting. We have me, CWMC. I am, I don't care what you say, I'm the #1 ring announcer in the tri-state area. I run LLF. This is my joint. We have our co-host,
Katie Marks.
Katie Marks, former or still amateur boxer. We're still trying to get her back in the ring. So, amateur
right.
boxer. And our guest was her first coach today. So, I'm sure we're going to get to talk about all that, about maybe her getting back in the ring. Our guest, hold on, before we have 2 guests today, but this is the guest we're going to focus on is Coach Gerald Reed. Coach is out of what in Lexington?
Lexington, Kentucky, 4 seasons, mixed martial arts.
All right, so out of 4 seasons mixed martial arts in Lexington. This guest right here, this is my niece. So I used to babysit her and the kids. She's sitting in on us. So sometimes she comes up with a good question. We're going to see.
Oh, come on. Don't doubt her.
Honestly, she comes up with real good questions. So I was like, Gerald, you get to be the guy today. So to get started, Gerald Reed, 4 seasons boxing, Lexington, Kentucky. #1, glad that you're here. Very, very glad that you're here. This is a very busy man, very busy schedule, always taking care of stuff. So he took time out of his day to come down here and talk to us. So we appreciate that from the bottom, LLF from the bottom. Now, there's one thing that I want to get into since I got into this business, because there are a lot of stories floating around, and sometimes you get a chance to check the person, sometimes you don't, and I'm not checking it all. I just want to know, there's a story about you had a chance to be in the Karate Kid movie?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
So you had a chance to be in the Karate Kid movie back in the day. Can you
Back
explain that to us?
Well, I fought in the karate tournament, the Cobra Kai tournament.
Right.
That's what it was called. And I won the tournament, and I got to go to the karate tournament out in California.
Okay.
Went there, and I fought a kid that if you watch the first episode of the Karate Kid, it was a Mexican kid or some Italian kid.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing the back sweeps. Mm-hmm. And that's the kid that I fought. And we fought. And in the tournament, if you hit someone upside the face, draw blood, you lose a point. You get if you hit them in the face, you get a point taken away from you. If you draw blood, you get disqualified.
Right.
Well, in the tournament, Cobra Kai tournament out in California, to be in the movie, the kid threw a punch illegal, chipped my tooth. I'm 17, 18 in high school.
Right.
Of course, I got frustrated, got mad.
You didn't break his face, did you?
No, I did. I did something that I shouldn't have done. Right. I regret now. Today's that I'm older.
Okay.
But they separated us, and the crowd knew that he drew blood. I knew he drew blood, so that's a disqualification.
So disqualification on whose part? His part?
On his part, because he drew blood.
Right.
Okay, and because that doesn't show control. In karate, people don't understand. You don't hit your opponent. The truest form of strength and talent is to get close enough to hit an opponent, but pull back. If you can do that, then that means you really got control of everything. To hit someone in karate means nothing.
Didn't know that.
Right. So that's the difference in karate and boxing. Karate, you punch at the target. In boxing, you punch through the target.
So did you get a chance to be? So how did you not get a chance to be in the movie, or did you get a chance?
Okay, well, he should have been disqualified in the tournament.
Right.
The winner was going to get the part. Right?
Yes, the winner was going to get to be in the movie. So
so you came back with something.
Yes. Yes.
Did they end up disqualifying you?
Well, this is what happened. Yes, they ended up disqualifying me because.
But didn't disqualify the other guy.
No. And
come on, man.
that's just how things happen sometimes in life. I was frustrated. The whole arena was booing and everything. So me at a young age, I'm upset.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, y'all don't want me in the mood.
Right.
That's the first thing come to my mind. So I said, okay, start us back, but this time I'm gonna do something kind of illegal, frustrated payback. Right. Because I took it upon myself and my mindset like that.
Something to get back.
Right. So he went to do the same technique that he used, because you start to understand in fighting, if something's working, why not continue it?
Right. Continue until they stop it.
Right. So
like
I knew he was going to do the same thing. So when he did it, I threw a legal spinning elbow and hit him in the head, split him down the middle of the forehead real bad.
Right.
Blood shot out everywhere.
Right.
I was on the plane 7:00 that night.
Right. It was like, here's your ticket, son.
There you go. Right. So
that's how that goes down then.
That's correct.
Right? So that's good. I've been wanting to, ever since I got started, I've heard the story about the Karate Kid story. So the moment I got Gerald on our show, I wanted to attack that question. So thank you for clearing that up for me.
Right,
so you had a shot. So we
I had a shot. Yeah,
had a shot.
Had a shot. Could have been in there. Yes.
All right, Katie.
Well, now that we know Gerald Reed, let's we'll fast forward a little bit, because I mean, even though it was an amazing and let's just say cold and badass kickboxing career he had besides the karate background, the name you should know, if you don't know by now, was Best Kept Secret. So if you're paying attention in the late 80s and early 90s, you will have seen him constantly on HBO Max. Even though he had a late start in boxing, there's still 26 world champions to date that he fought in the ring, which is a record by any day standards.
Stop right there. Hold on. Did you just say that this guy has fought 26 world champions?
Yes.
That's what I like to hear. I see that. You got to get another bomb for that. See how he just sits there? 26 world champions this guy done got on before. So, continue. I had to stop. I'm like, 26? I don't know. That is a record, isn't it?
It's pretty close.
It's
Mayweather worked out pretty close.
A lot
to
of
what
champions.
He's been in
Many of them.
Somebody get Guinness on the phone. Guinness
Right.
Book of World Records on the phone.
From weight class 135 to 154.
Yes.
Right.
140 to 144. Yeah.
Really?
140, 154. Yeah.
Man, that's mad crazy. I also heard that you were. That's mad crazy, man.
Have you heard that before, Coach?
And I also heard that you the type that fluctuated through zones,
weights,
right?
yeah.
Like hold on. Didn't they make a rule about you because people were fluctuating through weight classes?
Yes. Back in 1997, one of the head commissioners in boxing gave me a call one day and told me that nobody will ever again fight 3 world champions in 1 year in 3 different weight divisions.
Because you did that.
Because I did that. And that's tough on the brain, on the body, going up and down. And
even though you didn't go up too, I mean, yourself physically didn't go up too much because you couldn't gain that weight,
far as I got up to was 54.
Right.
154. I fought at 147, and I fought at 140. But in 1997, I fought that many opponents in 3 different weight divisions, and went the distance with 90% of them.
That's unheard of.
You know, yeah, it is. But at the same time, fell short. But I tell everybody all the time, the most important thing I got out of this was all I done was lost a fight. I didn't lose my life.
Right.
I just lost a fight.
You want to touch on your first? Was it your first 6-round or 12-round fight against that
the kid from Chicago? Yeah,
David Gonzalez.
Oh no, that was a 10-rounder.
That was your first 10-rounder. Gets thrown in unexpectedly out of the blue. Mm-hmm. First 10. How many fight was that? Your 10th fight? Something like that.
No, it was probably like my 15th, maybe.
And
15th.
Only your 15th fight. By comparison, I've had 14 fights. Mm-hmm. I've fought 14 fights, 3 rounds, amateur style. Mm-hmm. So imagine going in, turning pro without any amateur experience at all, and your 15th fight, you're going in against literally a killer. This man did that.
Yes, there was a kid named David Gonzalez out of Houston, Texas. He killed 3 men in the ring with his hands.
Whoa.
Yep. Yes.
Whoa.
And I got a call for the fight, and someone that was managing me at the time knew that, but still wanted me to take the fight because it was a big purse.
Right.
Of course, the purse was told to me differently. You found that out years later.
Wow.
So I never said no to anybody. You called me. I said, yep, let's go. It didn't make a difference. So I took the fight. Short notice, probably a week's notice at the max. Went to Houston, Texas, fought him in his hometown. We had the press conference the night before the fight after the weigh-in, and the lady said, Gerald, I know you know the history of David Gonzalez's life and all this, and I'm like, what you talking about? I had no idea.
You didn't know. You didn't know till you got there that this man was ending people's lives inside the ropes.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And she said he had 3 mishaps in his life going up against opponents in the ring that he defeated, and they lost their life. And I was like, what?
Right.
What? And I looked over at my manager over here, and I looked at my trainer. I'm like, did y'all know?
What y'all got me into?
Yeah, I'm like, holy Toledo.
Right.
So, of course, me, my mind frame, I still took the fight.
Right.
But, of course, it was a shell shock. After the weigh-ins and things, we sat down and talked, and I called my mom on the phone and told her about it, and she's like, no, you shouldn't take the fight. Everybody in my family said, no, you shouldn't,
That's Mama.
And I really thought about it myself. I haven't went 10 rounds in my life. I haven't went past 6 rounds, but I'm getting ready to fight a kid. His record was like 42 wins, 1 loss, 39 knockouts.
Woo!
And he killed
39 knockouts.
And killed 3
and 3 of them dead.
Yes, and one of them was a gold medalist in the Olympics.
One of them that
was
he
a gold
passed
medalist.
away.
Yes, passed away. Was a gold
Fighting
medal
this
in the
guy.
Olympics. Yes, and that's so that means his talent
is above and beyond.
Yes, and I'm coming in here green as I don't know what, but the heart of a lion.
I can tell because you're still sitting here.
Yeah, but not the skill set at the moment, But
And
not
like
the
you
skill
said,
set.
though, it's a win. You walked out alive. That's a win. Right
Yeah,
there.
right.
That
And that's
is.
what I always say to myself when when people come up and ask you, what's your record? That's the first thing people ask you.
It is.
That's
the first thing people
verification,
ask you.
but
It
that's
is.
not really verification. It really isn't, because at the end of the day, it's a business.
Right.
It's a business before it is anything. And if you're going to run a business, you're going to try to keep your fighter winning. You're not going to bring in people that can beat your fighter, because if you do, then you don't have a business.
Totally
You see what I'm
agree
saying?
with that.
So
I totally agree
I
with
learned
that.
all these things as I got older and got smarter, and I look back at it now. Your record doesn't define really who you are all the time. What defines is who you fought, how you performed, and did you quit or give up.
Great perspective.
Boom. That's awesome. So, and on that note, in saying that, you're coaching now.
I was
So
going to go
how
there.
do you take that and knowing that? How do you take what you know and knowing that and trying to instill that into these boxers that you're coaching right now, or fighters? Because do you just do boxing, or do you just do
Yes,
MMA?
just boxing, just
boxing
boxing.
right now?
Yes.
All right. So into these boxers that you have, how do you take that kind of mindset and try and instill that into these young kids coming up?
It's a very tough thing to do. Most fighters don't have that mindset. Very few people have that mindset. You have your Mike Tysons, your Sugar Ray Leonards, and them guys like that. Freaking like Terrence Crawford type guys like that, Earl
Right.
Spence, and them. They have the kind of mindset already in the gym when they come in. Now, what you can do is slightly improve it. Either you have it or you don't. That's one thing. You either come through the gym with it. One thing I can say, Katie had that fight. Katie had that dog in her, and that's what we call it, the dog.
Yeah.
But you gotta be a
Yeah.
smart dog. You
Right.
know, don't be like me. Don't be like me. You call me, I'm saying yeah.
Well, you had to be a little smarter, that seeing as you didn't get hit as much as I did.
See, this is coach and fighter right here. This is the interaction we have going on right here.
There you
So,
go. There you go.
No, I'm just acknowledging I'm not as slick as the coach that taught me what I should know
Right,
and
was it
still
head,
have to
head
work
movement?
on.
Something
Yes,
like
yes,
that?
yes,
Something
yeah.
like that. Something like that.
Yeah. See, and see what a lot of coaches don't understand and a lot of fighters don't understand. Basically, there's 4 to 5 criterias of defense.
Right.
And
Listen
they don't know
closely.
that.
Right.
And it always starts from the top to the bottom. So when you say top to bottom, you mean head. So
Right.
it starts head movement, shoulder movement, waist movement, foot movement, and if you want to say, you add on catching. You have gloves on your hand. See, most people don't understand it. Coaches don't explain this.
Right.
You got gloves on your hand for 2 purposes.
2.
Only 2.
Well, what are the 2
The
purposes?
2 purposes are real simple: to catch punches
Uh-huh.
and to throw punches to
Mhm.
protect your hand. So when
Right.
someone throws a punch at you, use your glove to touch yourself, so the glove don't hit you; it hits your gloves.
Oh boy, let me give it
Knowledge.
away. Hey, boy,
Knowledge.
giving away the secrets. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, elementary.
That is, and you know, I'm
Back
never
to the
even.
basics.
Yeah,
All
it's
about
really
the
basic.
basics.
So it starts at the head. So
Uh-huh.
when they shoot at your head, you can slip so many different ways as you
Right.
can. Then you turn your shoulders, and then after you turn your shoulders, you break at the waist, and then if them three not working, your last resort is move your feet.
Move your feet.
So you got to be able to remember them 4 criterias. And when you out there fighting and you starting getting punched on, you say, which one I'm not using? Because that's the one gonna save me.
Right, and all this has to go down like super fast, right?
Oh yeah.
When
Oh
you're
my
doing
God.
this is
Oh
a
my
matter
God.
of
Unbelievable.
2-3 tenths of a second type of deal
Unbelievable.
where
Yes,
you got to
yes,
figure
that's
all
correct.
this out.
Like
That's
a
correct.
baseball, right?
Hey,
What's
I wasn't
coming
gonna say
at
nothing.
you?
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
What's
All
coming
right.
at you? Curveball, fastball?
Right. I wasn't gonna say that.
Right.
But that's exactly, in
That's
my
exactly
mind,
what
that's
it
the
is, yeah.
first thing that comes to
That's
it.
correct.
Right?
That is
And
correct.
I've never heard of another sport where the time change was that fast. So boxing, that's about the
It is.
time change. That's,
Yes, it
that's
is.
about what gets it in. That's
Yes.
why everybody keep telling me get in the ring. I keep telling them they crazy.
There you go. There you go.
Right, I'm
There
like,
you go.
I'm not
The
getting in the
idea
ring.
to come when Moten was still in town.
Uh-huh.
He wanted to go out there and get some power working with
Yeah.
Moten,
Mhm.
and then he went out to train in Miami. Now we're like, all right, let's find a gym. Come on, Charles.
I'm
What we
getting
waiting
out there.
on?
I'm gonna
What
get
we
into it.
waiting
I
on?
just right now I gotta find time. So
There
as
you
soon
go.
as I
Okay.
find the time, believe me, it's coming.
All right. All
It's
right.
coming.
All right.
It's coming. So 4 seasons, Lexington. Explain how did you
Hometown Georgetown though.
Hometown Georgetown.
Yes.
Georgetown,
Kentucky.
Kentucky. All right. So you got
Never
your one,
moving
Georgetown.
again.
Lex, you got you one.
Never.
For sure. How do you get into? How'd you get into 4 seasons boxing, and how'd you get into boxing?
Well, I had done everything I felt I possibly could do in the karate. Once I wasn't able to get into movie Karate Kid, I was devastated. You
Of
know,
course.
come back
That hurt?
home. Yeah, I was hurt really bad. So right after that, I went into full contact kickboxing. So then when I went into full contact kickboxing, I done everything I could do in kickboxing, and I was a champion. And
300
You
wins,
know,
2 losses.
300 wins, 2 losses.
And every
in
loss
karate,
was
in
avenged.
karate,
In
300, 384 wins,
Ooh,
13 losses.
correct me,
Yes,
please.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
And
You know-
both losses were avenged, were they not?
Revenged.
Yes.
They were avenged.
Yeah, revenge.
Yes. All
Right.
right. All
But
right.
you know, that's where I felt at that moment in time. I need to go try something else.
Mhm.
So
And the
I said,
money
let me-
looked
let
a
me-
little better
yeah, the
too,
money
right?
was much better from back in the day of kickboxing in the 80s. Most I ever made was $4,000, and I was a champion. And that, I mean, it was good money for the 80s. I guess,
Right.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
the
'cause
80s,
I,
yeah.
I wasn't complaining, you know.
Right. So that
but
probably transferred to what? 8,000 now?
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on,
yeah.
I forgot my niece the money woman.
Yeah,
What's up?
Mhm.
Financial person right here.
Right,
All
right. Right. So a kid one day in Georgia, I was living in Georgia at the time, came in the gym, and you know he wasn't much of a fighter, and man, he told me he had a fight like in 2 weeks, and he getting $7,000-8,000.
You said, huh?
And I
Like,
said,
what?
what?
I'm in the
Right.
wrong
Well, how?
place.
I was like,
Ding,
oh
ding,
man,
ding,
I'm
ding,
done
ding.
with this then.
Right.
I said, I'm done. So I jumped into boxing. Took a long time for me to develop my skill set. Traveled all around California, Detroit, Michigan,
Right.
sparring with all the top guys up there. Just going to Texas, sparring. Getting beat up a lot in the gym, but I was learning.
You
Get my craft better. You know what I'm saying?
You got to take some lumps to learn.
Right. You know, and finally I picked it up and just carried on into the boxing and stuck with boxing more than I did with the karate.
Beautiful.
You want to touch on getting into, I know you were fighting and training at the same time. So who would you think who would you highlight in your first big fighter, maybe champion fighter or even amateur or pro, who jumps to the front of the list as one of your top fighters at the beginning of your coaching career?
The beginning of my coaching career. Man, that's a tough one.
Around the same time. I mean, highlight a couple of them.
Right.
Okay, I would say
You don't make nobody feel bad.
okay, I would say Vincent Padway. Vincent Padway, 2-time world champion. Sparred a lot of world champions too as well. Shane Mosley.
What?
De La Hoya.
Yeah, all them cats up in there with every one of them. Worked with Raul Marquez, just numerous champions, and picked up vital skill set from them guys. And I think that's what really helped me the most was consistently sparring good fighters and fighting good fighters.
Right.
It didn't pan out for me in a positive. It only panned out for me in a positive way of knowledge. I think my IQ is extremely high than the average coach.
Right.
I really is, because I've been there, I've done that. I've been on the losing side. And, some kids you can bring to the gym that's super talented, but lose one fight. And they feel like this is the end of the world.
Mentally.
Right. And I feel that with my
right.
career, I've been knocked down so many times. Like I said, you get knocked down 7, you get up 8.
Hey, boy, that's the saying around here,
You know what I'm
LLF
saying?
style.
Right.
Yes.
And that's just the way it is in life. So
It is.
developing kids to realize, hey, you just lost a fight, bro. You didn't lose your life.
For those who don't know, when do you get back in the gym after a loss?
Next day.
Yeah, say it
Right.
again.
Next day after a loss, always. Very important.
Fall off the horse.
Yeah,
get
Because
back
it's fresh on your mind. It's fresh on your mind. So before you get sore, come back to the gym. Because you're going to get sore the second day. You don't get
True.
sore the next day.
Very true.
You get sore the second day.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. You got one?
May I do
yes,
have a
yes,
question.
yes,
I do have a
yes.
There
question.
she is.
Nashville got a question. She ain't gonna let me down. Niecy ain't gonna let me down.
I feel like I've I had the fortunate pleasure of talking to you prior to some of this got started, and it sounds like you've gone from kickboxing, or excuse me,
Karate.
from
To
karate
kickboxing.
to kickboxing, and then to boxing. And listening to some of the sentiments that you've shared, I'd love to know more about what is it exactly about the physical contact sport that keeps you going.
Well,
Good one.
majority of men love challenges.
Yes. Drop it.
And
Drop it on the
that's
screen.
the key. Tell me something I can't do. Watch me show you something I will do. It's that simple. That's a man's mindset. As soon as you
And
tell
yours
me I
in
can't,
particular, I know you just want to be like, oh, you did that to me? How can I beat you back?
yeah.
How can I outdo
But you've made a
that?
career out of it.
Yes.
So it's gone from, that
Mhm.
primal instinct that men have to be
Mhm.
challenged and to dominate those challenges
Mhm.
into a long lasting career
Mhm.
in different categories, and now you're coaching children.
Mhm.
So I feel like, and then again, just listening to some of the things that you've shared already,
Mhm.
it sounds like, and I could be wrong,
Mhm.
but it sounds like there may be more to it than the simplicity of just dominating challenges, because you shared
Mhm.
some things where I felt like I was at church on
Mhm.
Sunday.
Go, girl.
Yeah. That's what we doing here.
Go,
We
girl.
doing here.
It just
Reed, take
feels
them to
like
church.
there's
Okay.
it feels like there's a lot more to it
Okay,
than
okay.
just the simplicity
Okay,
of
I agree.
domination.
I agree
Go,
with that. I
girl.
agree with that. And I'm gonna tell you what that is.
Okay.
Drop it.
I feel like I'm one of the few individuals on this earth that have found my passion. That's the key to living on this earth.
Keyword.
Is passion. Once you find something that you're passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's living life right there.
Hey, Coach, what's
It's
a
not about winning
holiday?
and losing.
What's a holiday?
What's a holiday?
Yeah, what's
I
a
have
holiday?
No idea what that is.
Okay. Yeah, that's a joke.
I
I
don't know
get
what
it. Right.
I don't know
Coach,
what that
like, ain't
means.
no holidays around here.
Passion.
Right. If I don't go to the gym, I feel like I'm missing something.
Something's wrong.
And it's not my passion to sit around and not be in the gym. That's what gave me comfortability, happiness, peacefulness. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm in the gym,
Happiness.
I'm fine with that. And that's what you got to understand. Some people just have that passion. They find it. And when you find it, it's attractive too. Very attractive. And a lot of people get envious of it because you have something special in you. No matter what, I'm going to the gym. No matter what. I don't care what it is. I never got high on the other things that people done. Like going out, hanging out, partying. I did that very limited. Yeah, I stayed in the gym. I found something that treated me fair. If I worked hard, I got something out of it. If I didn't work hard, I didn't get nothing out
Win,
of it.
lose, or draw on the plane, back
Right.
in the gym the next day.
Right, and I just believe in, I found my passion, and that's what it is. So it's not hard to not go. People like, for so many years, they say the same thing to me. Man, when are you going to stop?
That's a good joke.
Well, what you talking about?
Yeah, I have
don't
no
know what
idea.
you're
You know,
talking
this is me.
Right.
And it doesn't bother me.
That's
So to get someone to understand that is very hard because we live on this earth and we always die without finding what our true passion is. So this is my passion, and I'm going to do it till the wheels fall off.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Dropping bombs on LLF today. Reed, Coach Reed going ham in here. That's what we came for. All right, so let's switch it up. Let me give you. All right, they're taking boxing out of the Olympics. How you feel about that, Coach?
Wait,
Oh,
they doing
so
that
hurt.
again?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit,
keep
that
talking.
caught
They
me
keep
off.
hollering about it. So
Yep.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's getting close to it. Yeah. Well, it's mainly basically because of the money. It always boils down to
Oh,
money
it's politics
and
and
everything.
money.
A lot of these kids, super duper talented,
Mhm.
and they looking at the sport saying, hold on, I'm getting punched all upside the head, going around doing this for the Olympics,
Not getting paid.
and I'm really not really getting paid. They're making more than we are. I think we should get paid. So most of the kids are wanting to turn pro early.
Mm-hmm.
And USA Boxing saying, no, we want you to stick with USA Boxing, stay an amateur.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, the kids like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm taking the punches, not you.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they like, hold on. If I can get paid for taking these punches, then I might as well go do that. And that's the dilemma that USA Boxing having. Big money in boxing. And kids are recognizing it. And they want to go after the money because they want to help themselves and help their family. And boxing is a short-lived sport. 90% of the punches designed to go to the head, 10% designed to the body. So you must have great defense. Defense is the key to fighting, not offense, because there's a life after boxing. So I don't care how great you become. If you start becoming mentally slow with your conversations and stuff, having pugilistic dementia, then all your accomplishments goes out the window. Because it's sad, you don't know what to do. You can't get along with people. You can't hold a conversation. You don't know how to spend your money. So you really, that's not good. That's not good. So that's what I try to stress to my fighters. Show me defense. You can. My number one thing I look for in a kid when I started training is, are you a fighter?
Right.
If you ain't a fighter, I don't really want to waste my time with you for the simple reason. You can't teach fighting. You can only teach boxing.
Fighting's already in yours.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I get what you're
See what I'm
saying
saying?
now.
You see what
I
I'm
get
saying?
what you're saying now.
Yeah. You know, fighting something's in you.
Right.
Somewhere in the line of fighting, you're going to have to fight hard.
Right.
I can't teach you that. That's just got to be in you. Now, I can show you how to box, but I can't show you how to fight. So that's it. Fight first. That's my team. We fight first. We box second.
So you want to highlight who is in your opinion, pro or amateur that you've trained? Who is your best fighter and who's been your best boxer?
My best fighter. My best fighter.
In your coaching career.
In my coaching career, he was an amateur.
Okay. Who was that?
Mark Coffey.
Okay.
Okay, Mark Coffey.
Fight in him, in his blood.
Yes, just
run
in
through and through from
didn't
fingernails to
stop.
fingertips.
Man, did not stop punching, kept on coming. You could hit him with anything. It didn't make a difference. He's just going to keep on walking you down and, take your soul.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, boxer, I would say probably I'd probably say Lil Nate coming up right now.
What?
Lil
Nate.
who?
Lil Nathan.
Nate.
Lil
Lil
Nathan.
Nate. Have I seen Lil Nate?
Yes, you have. He
Yeah.
was on Dorico's card in that high school.
Yes,
I told
he
you
was,
he's
wasn't
gonna be scrapping. I said, look
Yes, you
out.
did
It was
say
a
something
tight
about him.
fight.
You did
It
say
went
something
both.
about
It could have went either way.
You did say
That was a
something
hell of
about
a
him.
fight.
Yeah.
And he's a boxer.
He's a boxer.
So when we talk about boxing, we're talking about technique. My
Mm-hmm.
man got
Yes,
technique.
yes, skillful.
And IQ.
Mentally. See,
Ooh.
that's like, not to change subjects,
No,
but just like
right
Terrence Crawford. He fights mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Earl Spence
Technique.
fights physically.
Yeah. I still got money on Earl on that.
Nate,
I'm going Crawford. I'm going Crawford.
She's in Crawford. I'm with Earl.
Uh-huh.
But all right.
well,
I'm going with the technique over the fighter on this one.
okay.
We're going to see how that goes.
But Crawford got that thing where he's just like the killer instinct. You know what I mean? Like when you look at his eyes, that's how I feel. Like how the last fight he had and the coach, who he fought, the coach's dad. I'm sorry, the coach that was his dad,
Sean
and he was
Porter,
like,
Sean Porter.
yeah, Porter's dad was like, he wanted to fight me in the hallway. That boy's just ready to fight.
That's a fighter right there.
I feel like Crawford's got both, even though you could call him a boxer over a fighter. That's just how I feel about it. But
size
wise,
is going to be the determining factor.
Spence is the bigger.
But it's really boils down to this in that fight. That's a 50-50 fight, regardless of anyone talking about it. It's
a fight.
50-50 fight.
Yeah.
The determining factor in that fight will be who's going to show up that night the best. That's all it is.
Got you.
That's all it is.
Makes sense.
Earl's a little bit too big for him. Terrence got a lot of speed. Earl got a lot of consistency, like a choo-choo train.
Can you slow down Crawford?
But Terrence got the quickness.
With that.
Yeah,
with
right.
that.
But he's a smaller guy.
Right.
He's been through more weight divisions. Earl stayed at 47. My personal opinion is a 50-50 fight. Yeah. I don't know who's going to show up that night better.
Right.
But if I was a betting man, I'd probably go with Earl. Just because of size.
Right.
Just because of size.
But makes sense.
Hey, it's a fair fight, great fight. And it's like a
be...
Tommy Hearns and a Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, everybody's going to be watching.
Yes.
Everybody's going to be watching that one for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Let's highlight. We just spoke on a little bit. Let's highlight Nate a little bit. How old is he now? 15?
No, Nate's 14 years old.
103rd?
No, 106.
106 pounds still.
106 pounds,
This Latino kid is something special. I've sparred
very
with
much
him many
so.
a time.
Very much so. He's lost
like
like 3 fights, but he was always fight everybody that was national champions.
Right.
So, and that's what I believe in. I believe in putting kids in early as an amateur with top-notch kids. Right. Because it's going to show them what they're going to have to do to improve if they want to get better. It's going to show them, not me.
Right.
And then it's going to let me know what they're made of.
Nate's
don't waste my time. And I'm not going to waste your time.
Right. Feel that.
Right. So
with that time
like that. Right. I'm not wasting yours. You're not wasting mine. So, let's do this thing for real. And some of your best fighters are kids that fight analytical. And Nate fights very analytical. And that's what he's got. His timing is freak of nature, but he fights with his brain. A lot of
and
fighters,
he listens too. He makes those adjustments.
All these things come along with that. Yeah, analyticism. Yep. Nate's just smooth. Very smooth kid. Yeah,
that's good stuff. I'm Nate. Next time I see
Nate's
you, bro, I'm
gonna
be paying way more attention than I was paying last time.
Yeah.
I'm be paying more attention.
Yeah, he's on a whole new level right now. Right now, he's on a whole new level. If I could show,
I haven't seen him like what? It was
man,
that was like at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
you
no.
No,
you got to look at it now.
Now,
you want to touch on Julia?
Yeah. One of the best.
2004, walked in the gym, right? Was it 04? Was it 03?
No, that's earlier than that.
Earlier than that?
97.
97. Okay.
Yeah, 97. She accomplished a lot,
Julia.
We got a female to highlight.
Yeah, Julia Day. She was
Julia Day.
The first women's United States national champion came out of Kentucky. She comes
originally from
she's
Pennsylvania.
Originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, Cincinnati.
But she came through Kentucky.
All right, we still gonna give you a shout out.
Great talent. Great talent.
When women's boxing was not
big, not popular at all.
Big.
Right. She was a superstar. She was a superstar. She's very talented, fast hands, real smart, very aggressive.
119 pounds.
Yeah, 119 pounds. Right? Yeah, she won the 98. Was it 98 or 2000? 2000 national champion. She got bronze in 98. Yeah, bronze in 98.
Right.
And gold in 2000. She was on the first USA women's travel team out of the country.
Oh, okay. She was on the first one of those teams.
International team.
Right, and you.
And we went, and I went with her.
Julia Day.
I went with her to Helsinki, Finland. That's where we went at. We went to Helsinki, Finland, and fought in a tournament over there. So she's a pioneer.
She jumped rope for an hour and a half
Yep.
before Reed even said he talked to her. About a
Look,
lesson.
ain't smile nothing.
Nope.
That's right.
True.
True
True
story.
facts.
It's true that. Yep.
True story.
Yep.
A woman in the gym trying to box what?
Right. You know, we're like, just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot about you. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Right.
Still
Right.
going.
You show me.
Right.
Show me
Right,
something. Show me
Kate.
something. You know, do you like it or do you love it?
Right.
An hour means you love it.
Tell that.
15 minutes, you like it.
Right. Don't be dropping it on them like that. Reed, don't do them like that.
So I just saying, I still feel very privileged. She's my first coach. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying.
So, do these cats in your camp, do they know your resume, man?
Most of the time I
They
don't talk too
ignore
much
it.
about it.
I'm like,
They ignore it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no disrespect, but y'all need to 4 seasons. Y'all need to be paying attention, bro. Do you know this cat's resume? I'd want to be taught by Beethoven if I was trying to play the piano.
He's up there at the ranks of what? Now I'm missing the name now. Is it Stacy? What? Hold on. Damn, the dude they stick fighting that Mike's associated with. You know what I'm saying? They hold the stick fighting workshops over there once a year. Is it Stacy? What's the name? They bring him in. Mark. Damn, I'm horrible with these names.
All right,
Stacy.
I could have the wrong name, but
Okay.
they do the really well known black belts, and they do the all other like Chinese kind of stick fighting and stuff like that. They hold the workshops at 4 Seasons, and Mike's up. Mike is the only black belt. There's only one other black belt in Kentucky for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you want to,
Yeah. Mike O'Donnell is the first black
Mike
belt
O'Donnell.
in the state of Kentucky.
he's the first black belt.
In the whole state. Yeah. Mike O'Donnell. Yeah.
Okay.
So
The
this
owner of the
4
Four
Seasons
Seasons.
gym is packed full of. If you
Monsters.
want to train boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, whatever at the highest level you want to train at, it's all at 4 Seasons. It's all at 4
4
Seasons.
seasons in Lex.
Mhm.
Lexington, Kentucky.
And
Yeah.
Lexington.
Lex getting down like that?
It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
Okay.
For years. For
Okay.
years. Yeah, for years. For
no
years.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Had no
for
idea.
years.
I know you had a resume, but I was like, good God.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know. You know, you
Got
just don't-
gems all in there.
Right.
Mhm.
When you don't say too much, you know, when you lost a lot of fights and all you heard was negative in your life, that's a tough thing to
Mhm.
rebound from.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
ain't
saying?
never lied about
You
that.
know, and but I never let it break me down.
Feel that.
I'm badly
that.
bent, but I'm not broken.
All right, so you don't have a voice. So what's this? They talk about. Let's just touch
what
on
is
it. Let's talk on it. Did you? What's the? I'm
Maybe
trying
he
to
wasn't
figure
a
out the great
coach.
word for it. Is it from coaching and in that coaching aspect? Like I've seen you firsthand, and I was like, I don't have a problem with it. I
You're
think
catching
it's
them on
fine.
a good day.
But I'm catching them on a good day. Good, because I done see Reed go after it, boy. I done see them get the hollering on somebody, boy.
Yeah.
You
I
have.
done see them get the hollering on
Charles,
somebody.
be back here. I'm sitting in the chair next to Charles. Calm down, coach. I'm like, Charles, that's coach.
Right.
That's coach.
Right.
There's no calming him down. His fighter is not winning.
And I'm the kind of person I can appreciate that. A lot of people, we live in a world now where you know, y'all just too soft with it, straight up.
Facts.
They tell you, you're straight
Facts.
too soft with
Facts.
it. So I can appreciate that.
Yes.
I can appreciate that. Other people gonna fold and tell you something wrong with you. We ain't folding around here, and ain't nothing wrong with you.
Right.
You get me?
That's correct. That's correct.
We don't do that. So I done seen them get off in somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know, if you ain't doing right, better not. Coach Reed gonna come out. He gonna make sure you know that you ain't doing it right.
Even if you're not his student, the unwanted advice will come your way because you're not doing it right.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, I just believe mainly in telling the truth to a kid. He can't never come back and say you didn't tell him if you tell the truth.
I agree with that, 100%, man. Boom.
Me as a coach, I don't try to
Agree with
become
that.
your friend. See, I'm not trying to become your friend. That's the difference between me and a lot of other coaches. I don't try to be none of my kids' friend. I try to become their teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I will say coach because that's what everybody recognize you as.
Mm-hmm.
But a coach is a organizer. I feel like I'm more of a teacher. I walk the students through the things of life. I do more talking than I do the fundamentals of boxing. So I give them outside knowledge, not just life all
I
the
feel
time.
like it's 50-50 though.
Well,
'Cause,
sometimes I make it 50-50, but Majority of the time, I'm not trying to be a friend for the simple reason that friendship is developed throughout the years of I'm training you. And it's your choice, not mine.
And trust being a coach.
I don't care
at
if
the
you're
same
gonna be
time.
my friend or not.
Yeah.
Because I became your friend because of teaching.
Right. And we
Respect my teaching. You don't have to like me. People,
Right.
they didn't like Jesus Christ.
They don't understand that. Say it.
They didn't
Say
like
it.
Jesus
Shit.
Christ. Right. They didn't like Jesus Christ. So,
Right.
I could care less if you like me or you dislike me, but you're not going to say, I don't know my coaching or my teaching.
Right. I was gonna say ain't no, but my thing is always you ain't gonna say that ain't nobody tell you.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's
like,
my thing. You ain't gonna say
my
nobody
mom
tell
said
you.
it to me over and
Right.
over and over.
Look, I told you now. It's on
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
But
it's
you ain't
on
gonna
you.
say you ain't gonna walk through this life
That's
and
right.
say that ain't nobody told you.
Very much
I'm
so.
not gonna have that. I don't
100%.
deal in that.
100%.
Any
That's the way I
aspect,
feel.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 more before we get out of here. I'm gonna ask you
Mhm.
one more. Teddy gonna ask you one more. We're gonna get out of here.
Mhm.
When you are coaching a boxer,
Mhm.
what is the? I don't want to ask you what the process is. I don't want to give it away, anything like that. But when you're coaching an amateur, how do you coach an amateur to become a pro? Because with everything going
Good
on,
question.
yeah. So and 2 questions now. Where do you sit on the fence? Do you sit on? I want to bring home gold medals and let that happen from that, or do you be like, go get your money, go get your bread? Sometimes you got to take care
You
of
gotta
your
have that
family. And
resume
that's,
though.
and that's probably to each and every person because each and
Mhm.
every person's story is different.
Mm-hmm.
But that and how do you coach a pro into an amateur? And how do you coach a pro into an amateur?
You mean an amateur into
Amateur
a pro?
to a pro.
Yes,
into
yes.
an amateur. I said
Amateur
it
to a
backwards.
pro.
Yeah,
Yes.
amateur into a pro. Correct. How you do that?
Well, most kids nowadays, they really want to look for the money.
Yeah, they do. Ain't
So
gonna
they
lie
coming
about
through the
that.
door already wanting to turn pro with a very short career as an amateur. That amateur experience is very important. I feel you should have an amateur experience. How much is based on the individual. If they improve tremendously well and the Olympics is a year away, stay amateur. If it's 2, 3, 4 years away, no, you don't need that. If you're a good teacher, it shouldn't take you 3 to 4 years to get a kid to the point to where USA Boxing is looking at it.
Right.
In 3 to 4 years, you should have been able to compete in the National Golden Gloves or something, and you probably should have maybe won the Golden Gloves in a region.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can come off the bat and win the whole thing, but that's very rare. But if you're a good teacher, 3 or 4 years, you can do something with a kid. You can get him out there to where that the world gonna recognize who he is and know where he's coming from. It shouldn't take that long if he's determined and disciplined and dedicated to the
Right.
craft.
Right.
So then there's some kids that, they have the speed. See, the amateur game that's basically what it is. Speed in the amateur game. It's about points. It's about touching your opponent. So in the amateur game, it's more about having them throwing a volume of punches real fast
Mhm.
and recuperating right after it, over and over and over. You don't fight amateur like a pro, and you don't fight pro like an amateur. They
Right.
2 totally different things.
Good.
So,
Glad to hear you say that.
Speed more as an amateur, bring the speed to the pro game, but not the volume of punches you throw. So
Right.
as an amateur, you can throw 8, 9, 10 punch combinations.
Right.
In the pro game, you can't throw that many because in the pro game, the style of fighting is catching and countering. So if I know you're an amateur coming to me throwing real fast combinations like 8, 9 punches,
Mhm.
what I'm going to do as a pro is I'm just going to put my hands up and walk to you and let you start the combination. And then I'm going to counter in between because that's how you beat speed. You beat speed by timing. All right, that's it. You beat speed by timing it.
Can you do that at the same time? So can you coach an amateur and coach a good amateur and coach him to be a good pro at the same time? Is that possible?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
the
is very
knowledge,
possible.
too.
Yes, it's very possible because all you have to do is when he turns pro, get him to tone down the volume of punches that he's throwing as an amateur, but still bring that speed. Bring that speed, but don't bring the volume of combinations over and over consistently. Because in the pro game, you throw with more bad intentions than you do as an amateur. Because when you throw with speed, you don't put a lot of crack on it.
Right.
You know, because if you do put a lot of crack on it, then you're gonna get tarred. So in the pro game, it's more about power with speed, and you got to be able to be tactical and diplomatic about the approach of that. But as an amateur, it's just one thing: outwork your man, outspeed him. It's cardio 24/7, and that's the difference between the amateur and the pro game.
I see, and there is a difference. So
Yes.
kids, if you are listening, boxers, if you ain't listening, I don't even want to call you kids. Boxers, if you are listening, there is a difference between amateur and pro, and there is a difference. So if you are a pro, or if you are an amateur trying to become a pro, there are some things that you may need to do different. But all right.
Let me say one more other thing.
Go right ahead, because Katie, I'm gonna let Katie gonna get the answer.
Okay.
She gonna get the going out question. This is your people right here.
Okay.
She brought you in. Thank you a lot, Katie, for bringing your number one coach
Hey,
to
he
us
got
today.
here. That's on
Reed,
him.
you're awesome.
Appreciate
I
it.
swear to you.
Okay. Now, on the amateur and the professional, all you have to do is listen to the words, and it tells you amateur, not for sure. Professional, he knows.
Hey, never looked at it that way.
And that's just the way it is.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, English lesson.
Yeah.
It
It's that simple.
is.
Yeah,
Katie,
it's
got
really
anything?
English
Take a guy out
lessons in
with.
boxing. Here we go. Oh, who's winning the upcoming pro fights? I mean, you could touch base on Spence and Crawford. What'd you think about Taylor and Serrano's fight? What did you think that was a correct call? Like, what do you think's coming up in your hindsight of watching fights? I mean, I just know you watch fights every day, so
Most
I'm just saying.
definitely.
Right, most definitely. Right.
What's
right.
coming up that maybe you know a little inside scoop we don't, or
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, so what's your
I thought the
perspective?
Katie Taylor fight and Serrano fight was a phenomenal fight.
One
I
for the
thought
ages, huh?
Serrano won majority of the beginning part of the fight, kind of slowed up a little bit towards the end, but I felt she had 1 or 2 rounds ahead in the book.
Okay.
And I felt the decision could easily pin a trial, or it could have went to Serrano.
Okay.
But you got to understand, Serrano's been in the game much longer than Katie, and Katie's more popular because she's younger, and she just come out of the Olympics, and Serrano never came out of the Olympics, so it's marketing. Everything is, you know.
Right.
So if they was to do it again, I'd love it. But it was a great fight. It's going to help women's boxing. They're getting paid millions of dollars now. I'm looking forward to the Clarissa Shields fight and Savannah Marshall fight.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a barn burner. I just hope that Clarissa Shields goes there and fights non-emotional. Be fired up, be pumped up, be motivated, but don't get out of character.
Can Marshall find a weakness in Shields, you think?
No, I just think she has a little more height and reach on
Okay.
her. And I think she feels that she only going to fight one way.
Okay.
She's going to be aggressive. I think Clarissa Shields should bring the aggressiveness once she hurts her, establishes her boxing, establish her ability that's better than hers, and then apply that pressure. You got to be tactful and diplomatic about your approach in anything you do. And I think that if she don't bring her emotions in, she'll be able to do that. But it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a great fight. Another barn burner for women's boxing. I'm loving it. And just like the men, they need to get paid. You getting hit upside your head.
They need to get paid.
You need to get paid.
You need to get paid. You're getting hit upside your
That's
head.
right. They can do the same thing as we can do.
And you're
not
going
gonna
with
argue
Spence
that.
over Crawford because
Right.
of the size difference.
Yes, and the Olympic
consistency.
experience.
And the Olympic experience.
And you
Right.
cannot take
Right.
that away. Olympic experience is
But they're
more than
taking the
anything.
Olympics away, man, and these guys don't want to go to the Olympics anymore.
No,
you know
but-
what I'm saying? I'm a believer in the Olympics and then taking whatever comes with that. So I don't know where everyone else sits on that side of the fence, but we're going to continue with this. We're going to
I
continue.
got
with
to
the
ask
rest of
one
the
more
studio.
opinion.
Yes,
one more
I'm a big
opinion.
believer in Olympics first. Bring home a gold medal, man. Do all that. But you got to get the points first.
Get the resume.
So
you
I
say.
learned about the points.
Yeah.
I learned about the point system. I did
Yes.
some research. I learned about the
Yes.
point system and how they treat you. And to be an Olympic, you have to have the points. So that means you got to fight here, you got to fight there, you got to go overseas and fight, you got to do all that.
Yes.
And I don't even know if these kids know that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't.
But it's big money too, because you're just not going to be able to fly to Sweden and
that's right.
get you an international. So I understand that. I kind of got understanding, but you know that's just how it is. That's me, my personal opinion.
It's a good opinion. It's a good opinion.
What do you think about the internet craze with Paul and how he's endorsed Serrano? What do you think about this craze going on with all these celebrities jumping into boxing? Is this a positive? Is this a negative in your opinion?
Well, I got to be honest with you. We as fighters, of course, we a little salty because we taking the bumps and the bruises way more than they ever did, and they making way more money than we ever did. So do we have a legitimate reason to be upset? I think we do. But at the same time, I can't hate on them. They made themselves popular on YouTube. I did not make them popular on YouTube. So it kind of goes both ways. But if they're doing anything to help the sport out of boxing, I'm with it.
Okay.
Boom. And there you have it. Anything else? That's probably a good note. But is there anything you'd like to say before we leave? Reed, number one, I love having you here. We love having you here. If we ever get a chance, we hope you come back and see us again.
Most definitely.
But is there anything special? That was pretty much a nail by. I was nailed it with that one. Anything else you'd like to say? Want to say hi, Mom?
No, I'm good. I just hope everyone enjoyed it.
Mom's watching over us.
Yeah, just hope everyone enjoyed watching it, and let's make Kentucky a good boxing state.
Right, and it's local Louisville fighting, but we support the surrounding areas, and we always support the people that support
local
us, man. So.
Georgetown Star right here. Don't forget where he's from, even though he trains out of Lexington. Georgetown, Kentucky is hometown.
Georgetown trains out of Lexington, 4 seasons. Gerald Reed.
Best kept secret, Reed.
Almost made the Karate Kid movie, yo. Hope the kids is paying attention, man. LLF, Nisi from Nashville. Music City Boxer will say, what's up? You ain't know we was connected, did you?
There you go.
Yep, we out of here. We'll catch you next episode.